At the end of the 2023 season, Marcus Stroman decided to opt out of his contract and join the free agency and see what he can get on the market. That left a hole in the Cubs pitching rotation. Well, today, and I'm late, I understand, the Cubs signed someone big. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody to the Touching Bases podcast. Again, I am late on a big announcement. I'm pretty sure everybody else on YouTube has already touched on this subject. Shota Imanaga is going to the Cubs. I predicted that he was going to go to the Padres. I figured the Padres needed another pitcher. They lost 3 of their arms. That just seemed like the right spot for me. But hey, the Cubs got to him first, and now the Japanese left-hander, which is another reason why I thought he was going to the Padres, because I thought the Padres would really need a left-hander, is going to the Cubs. And he's pretty impressive over in Japan. As far as an 8-year stretch, he was able to pitch a 3.18 ERA, and he's pitched over 1,000 innings. I think just over 1,000 innings. And he's like, in the last 2 years, he's done like a 2.53 ERA and like 360 strikeouts, which I think he's only pitched like 300 innings or something like that. So, and he has a cluster of pitches, which is pretty awesome to see, and it's going to be a great fit for the Cubs. So I think it's a good pickup for them. They really needed the arms. As far as I've been looking on like FanGraph and stuff, they put him as like a number 3 in the in their pitching rotation, which I mean, I don't watch any Japanese baseball, but looking at the stats, he seems more like a 1 or 2, maybe at least a 2 in the rotation. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they have Justin Steele, and then they have Talon and then Hendricks. But honestly, those are not really names that really stood out to me last season. I didn't pay a ton of attention to the Cubs, but this is going to be a big arm for them. It's going to help them in the long run. Hopefully he can perform in the MLB and not just in Japan. I mean, his numbers are super promising. Even if he doesn't do as good as he did in Japan, he's still going to be putting up numbers that are, I don't want to say Cy Young level, but I mean, if he's as good as he is on paper in Japan, here in the US, Cy Young all day. I don't see why he couldn't do that. Morosi, I believe, went on to either his MLB.com or something like that. He was able to, he mentioned his comments on things. He's a little bit more of an insider than I am. Obviously, I'm just a fan, but it sounds like that his contract is going to be a multi-year deal that's going to be about $15 million per year. I don't know if that's his guess or if he has some sort of knowledge as to how much he's getting paid, which is a lot for, again, an untested pitcher. And this has been kind of a trend in the MLB lately as far as signing people. There's been a lot of international signings and a lot of money thrown their way with no testing in the MLB. So that's an exciting thing to look forward to when we get into the 2024 season. Hopefully he doesn't have any injuries. Now, like, Shota's a 30-year-old coming into the MLB as his debut. He's 30 already. There's a lot of pitchers out there that have arm trouble right around 30. And, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's going to be a huge issue, but it is something to be mindful of because of just the way he pitches. He's not all arm. He really utilizes his body and his motion to get his pitches across. He's not overpowering, but he can still throw in the 90s for a fastball. And he has a good cluster, like I said, of different pitches. I don't know exactly which ones are his best pitches, but he does have a splitter, he has a slider, he has a curve, and he strikes out everybody over there in Japan. Like I said, it was like 300 and some odd, like 306 strikeouts the last couple seasons and 300 innings. So every inning he's averaging a strikeout. That's phenomenal. Even if he comes over to the Cubs and he's pitching and only produces, let's say, a strikeout every other inning, which would be drastically less than what he's doing over in Japan. That's still really good. And it's still him getting himself on the board, making a name for himself, and I think fulfilling a $15 million a year contract with the Cubs. I'm happy for them. They needed to fill that role. It's kind of nice that they found him. They're able to sign him since Stroman decided to walk away, and Stroman's still looking for a team. And I'm actually going to be looking forward to watching the Cubs play this year, because this is a pitcher that I would like to see dominate in the NL. Specifically, I would love to see him play against some of the better teams like the Braves and the Dodgers. And really, it's going to be interesting. The Cubs might go out and get another pitcher. I'm not sure if they will, but there's still some time left. I might need like a number 4, maybe even maybe a number 5, especially since their rotation is not exactly the greatest. But if anything, they do need to really fill in that slot for where Bellinger left. I think they're probably going to re-sign Bellinger. It just doesn't make sense for Bellinger to have 4 years, and the 1 year he does really good, it's in Chicago, and for him to go somewhere else and expect to play the same caliber where he's comfortable in Chicago, he knows he can perform there, the team knows they can perform there. I feel like he's going to be coming back, but that's for later news. Just focus on Imanaga. Congrats to the Cubs. So just want to give an update. I know I'm late to the thing, to the party, and I just got off work. Figured I'd come in and give you guys a little rundown of what's going on and what's expected and what some of the ideas are that are getting passed around, because he's still pending a physical tomorrow. So as long as he passes that, then the Cubs got him. If he doesn't, it's kind of a big problem, because he only has like a day left before he would have to then go back to the Japan League. I guess one more stat to throw out there. I know that they're saying like he's a number 2 or number 3 step, and I see Fangraph throwing him as a number 3. I still think he should be like a number 2 or number 1, at least for the Cubs, just in comparison as far as stats goes. But I mean, last year in the Nippon Professional Baseball, so the NPB, he threw a 2.80 ERA in 148 innings, but he also led the league in 174 strikeouts, which is insanely good. Yamamoto was close behind him with 169 strikeouts. So he throws more strikeouts than Yamamoto, and Yamamoto got paid $325 million for 12 years with the Dodgers. Keep an eye on this guy. He's really good, and good for the Cubs. This kind of leaves Montgomery and Snell as far as starting pitchers that everybody's kind of keeping an eye on. It's dwindling. It's kind of coming down to those two as far as big news goes, and I'm not sure who's going to get what. It takes the Cubs off the list. I don't think they're going to go after those two big names. Snell, it's kind of a toss-up. It sounds like he's interested in New York. He might go there. Stroman, I guess, is the third option. I'm going to stick by my words, and I'm going to say he's going to go to Boston, especially with all the kind of public drama that's going on between him and the Yankees. If he signs with the Yankees, it is what it is. It's probably all for show, but I think he's just trying to get their attention so that people start getting interested in him, and he gets more money out of it. That's kind of the rumor going around, and that's probably his strategy. But I could see him going to Boston because Boston got rid of Chris Sale and they need another starting pitcher. Giolito is definitely not a number 1 for Boston. He's a good pitcher, but he's definitely not a number 1. And they need a number 1. I could see Stroman filling that slot. And then Montgomery, I'm hoping he goes back to the Rangers. I think he was a good fit. He performed well there. He basically pushed them through the World Series, and he's healthy. I might be wrong. I mean, I know there's quite a few teams out there that probably need pitching, but I'm hoping he goes back to Texas. That's my hope. I don't know what he's actually going to do. Everything is just a guess at this point because nobody seems to have any insight or any clue because these things are popping off like crazy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications whenever I do upload, because things like this means I get more than just one video a day. And go ahead and like the video if you are here still. I think that earns a 1 click, or dislike the video and tell me why in the comments and what your arguments are. Maybe I got something wrong as far as the pitching rotation. Maybe he should be a number 5 pitcher. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'll see you guys later. See ya.